Hi, my name is Jennifer Owen, and in the last video that we posted, we talked about our Generation Z student and helping them make better choices using the Digital Compass software. So, in this presentation, we're going to take a further look at Digital Compass and how it is helping our students navigate their digital world. And we are going to look through it through an educator's point of view, and there is obviously a need for intervention like we discussed last time. But our needs for intervention, the reasons why we have to help our students is that they are increasingly engaged in online and digital behaviors, some that are okay and some that are appearing to be troublesome. Kids are posting stuff on Snapchat and Facebook and Instagram that is not appropriate. We have kids in our school that are recording fights to upload it so they can get numbers of likes. And these behaviors are just not something that we want our kids to be doing. And many parents are often unaware of the habits of their children and the consequences of their actions. And lastly, through an education point of view, digital citizenship is a necessary component in our classrooms. We really need to teach the kids how to behave using technology. So for this presentation, we have a few goals. We're going to learn how Digital Compass can engage our Generation Z students to help promote positive decision making. Last video talked about what a Generation Z student was and the characteristics of them. We are going to understand how to implement the Digital Compass technology in our classrooms, and you should be able to describe the benefits of using Digital Compass in your classroom. So, what is Digital Compass? What is it exactly? Well, in the last video, we gave a sneak peek of the town called Anywhere. It showed all these characters. So we're going to talk a little bit more about what Digital Compass is. The first thing is it's a free online learning platform. And it introduces all of these characters, and these characters go on various journeys. And the part that is beneficial to the kids is that the students have the freedom to make the decisions for their characters of choice. So first they're going to be able to choose the character. The software is going to give them a little bit of a background about the character and their dilemma, and the students are going to navigate the choices for the character. And they are going to be able to see how those digital choices impact relationships and future events of the character. And so now we're going to take a look at how it works. So I recorded a little video so you could watch how this actually works, what you need to do and how you need to get into it. So here we go. Okay, so here we are. I'm getting ready to show you this software. It's called Digital Compass, and you can access the game right on the website of Digital Compass. So I just opened my search engine. I opened Google through Chrome. I believe you can use it through any internet browser. I choose Chrome and I choose Google. And we're going to start off by going up into the web browser, and we're going to type in www.digitalcompass.org, and you can see that it's automatically coming up in my browser because I've been to this website quite a few times to play around with the game. Once you get to the website, right smack dab in the middle, it shows you, hey teachers, you can download these educational materials. So if you click on that link, you can see what kind of things are available. They're going to show you, here's your educator guide, your quick start guide, and then they also have it in another language. But I'm going to go back to the main page. On the main page, it tells you a little bit about Digital Compass. It gives you a video about it. It's available in Spanish, it says, and it tells you what this idea of Digital Compass is about, how students can choose their own path and kind of work through valuable lessons to help increase their digital citizenship skills. On this page, it also talks about the lessons that are available through the different characters. continue to scroll down, it gives some, accolades as to why it is such a great piece of software to use. Okay, so you can see that you can play online using this this website, or you can get the app. I did download the app for my phone. I have an iPhone, so I could fool around with it a little bit. So we're going to press the play online now. In order for it to play on your tablets or laptops, you need to have Flash Player. And once you press that, it's going to take you to the screen with all the characters, and at the bottom it's going to say click to start. So I'm going to click that. Okay, so then it takes you to the screen where you get to choose an option. You can either start a new game or resume a game that you've already started playing. You can choose your language if you'd like, if you want to change it to Spanish. I am going to resume my game because I've already been messing around with it. So I'm going to enter my username. Let's cancel out of that for a second. If you start a new game, it tells you how your username should look like, and to please make it memorable so you don't forget it. Alright, so I'm going to go back to resume a game, and I'm going to type in my username, and I am going to log in.
Welcome to Anywhere. These kids may not look like you and me, but trust me, their days are just like ours.
Okay, I'm going to pause that for a second. So, anytime you log in, it goes through the introduction. I'm going to continue to go through the introduction, but you can also skip it, so once the kids have heard it once, they probably don't want to listen to it over and over again. Or you may require them to do that if, that's your decision. You could also click this button. This button is going to mute the sound, so it's going to mute the reading of the stories. And I kind of like that, and I kind of don't. So it depends on your classroom dynamic. If you have tablets where you have headphones and the kids can listen to it, which I would recommend, then I would keep the volume up. If not, then I would click it, and that mutes the volume, but it puts the words at the bottom of the screen. And I'm gonna demonstrate that in a second. I'm gonna make it continue.
Jam-packed from sunup to sundown.
So if I click this, you can see now that the words are at the bottom and the kids can read it. I find that maybe it goes too fast, so I'd rather have it play it so the kids can listen.
Anywhere, it's up to you to help them make some real-world decisions in their daily lives. Some big, some small. The choices you make will determine their fate, and the outcomes can be good, bad, or downright ugly. The direction you take them is up to you. Test your street cred in this digital world of ours. Where are you headed? Find out with Digital Compass.
Okay, once it plays the introduction screen, it's going to welcome you to Anywhere, and you can pick your character. I'm going to start by picking this character right here. I'm not really sure of his story. Citation infestation. So here is Jay's dilemma. He has demands of an overpacked schedule. So what's going to happen is that this software, this program sets up the story. The kids will need to read through this part, and then the rest of it will play and we'll give the scenarios. So with competing demands of an overpacked schedule, Jay debates taking some shortcuts to spin his science project into solid gold. If only he could fine-tune his own critical eye when it comes to researching online. How will you help him get through the next 48 hours? So we're going to start the story. I like the sound effects. I like the graphics. I think the kids will as well.
Mix it up a little. Not much. You told him not to text you during Flem's class. Eat a bug. What? Okay, time to pay attention. Even though you're doing sort of okay in science class, a bad grade on the final could drop your B by a grade or even two. Plus, the thought of bug eating just caused a minor bark in the back of your throat. Anyway, let's take a look at the assignment. Endangered Insectum assignment. Multimedia research project on soon-to-be extinct insect of your choice. Blah, 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 blah. Ooh, you're on, Hutch. As soon as you hit send, the hair on the back of your neck stands up. Due June 12th. Doesn't Flemmy know you've got the band tryout on the 10th, Beat Barrage on the 11th, and Wings Party on the 12th? Someone really needs to chirp this guy and update him on the social calendar. But what about the tryout? And distractions and hunker down, bird brain.
Okay, so now we're at the point where the kids have to make a decision on what to do, and a couple things on the icons up at the top. This brings you back to the home page. This will also mute the sound. This will tell you what awards you've won. I guess at the end you earn points based on your decision, and it will show you that. And this is the map that will show you where your choices are leading you. So they get to choose open, schmoogle, type endangered bug, and think happy thoughts, or elementary school stuff, use quotes with a plus and minus to narrow your search. So I like how it gives a couple different choices, not too many choices. I like the language, how it's easy for the kids to kind of work through it on their own. I like the graphics, I like the sound effects. So I think I'm going to just press this one. It doesn't really matter at this point. I'm just going to show you what happens next.
So much for saving time. Look at all these results. Word bug brings up computer viruses, gnarly stomach illnesses. Ugh, what the heck is that? 1,000,000 search results. And at the top of the long list, Insecta Institute. Looks like a start. Maybe not. Where do you even click?
Okay, so it gives it in short and sweet little scenarios, so the kids it appeases to their ability to, like, they only have such a small attention span. So if you have too much going on, they might lose interest. But because it's like a short piece and then they have to make a decision, it keeps them engaged. So let's see. I'm gonna just click this one.
Beginner's luck. Insecta Institute is completely devoted to the Montedeo Big Eye, which they say is endangered. The page is a treasure trove of facts, images, and quotes from researchers. Granted, you've never heard of their affiliated universities before, but facts are facts. Well, maybe. The time saved with Wikipedia to make it to the band trial would be worth it.
All right, so now you're making another choice. Have no idea. I'm just gonna
Good
pick
thing
one.
for Wikipedia, you had time for band tryouts. Even got time to check the Montedeo Big Eye footers, just to make sure it's on the up and up. Wait a minute. Why is Rhoda on here? Proud of what? The bug? Rhoda, what gives? What? Ugh. 8-year-olds.
All right, so now again another choice. Computers. Let's see. Too late. Embellish what you've got. Computers are evil. Time for old school library learning. Let's see if they pick
Mr.
that one.
Flynn never stops lecturing about not relying on just one source. You can see him now. Cross-check your facts and findings across multiple resources. But your Bee Barrage crew is relying on you today. Bugs versus Bee Barrage. Bug eating versus Bee Barrage.
Okay, so it puts them in a dilemma. You have a chance to change your decision and make it a better one, but let's just say they don't and they submit it.
You know that Mr. Flimlock all too well. He usually shares it with the worst of the worst kids in his class. Not only do you get a D on the project, you miss Wing's party, you miss the Bee Barrage, and the band tryout. And as you walk back to your desk, Hutch holds up a drawing of you eating a bug. Barb.
Okay, so look, it tells you that they made some bad choices and they came out with a bad outcome. And so that's okay because it's in an environment where it's okay to make a bad decision. And so now they can go back and they can try other story choices throughout that game, or they can play another game. So if we take a look at this, if I click this, it shows us, our progress, how many we've completed and how many badges we earned. I believe I earned this badge from the last one I played with. You can print the scorecard, and I believe if we click the map, it shows us where we went. So we started here, we went down, and we didn't really make a good choice, and here we ended up over there. So this is kind of good for the kids to kind of have a visual, a graphic of what path they took. So let's go back to try some other story choices. I believe it restarts the story, which we're not going to go through because I think you get the gist of this. So each of the characters, I'm going to exit to the home page, will present a different story. It will present a different scenario that targets a different component of digital citizenship and making good choices. So that's the end of this little presentation. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you consider implementing this in your classroom, because it might be a valuable tool to help kids with decision making through the use of social media and digital technology. All right, so taking a look at the benefits of using this digital compass, I really liked a lot of the components, especially for kids that really have not been exposed to the idea of being a digital citizen. I know that we sometimes kind of backdoor that and try to influence them to make good choices, but they don't necessarily know what that means or what happens if they make a bad choice, what's going to happen. So the benefits of using this software is that it's multisensory. It uses sound. It had other sound effects. It had music in the background. It had like, sound effects, and had colorful graphics. They were not simple graphics, but they were not really, video game graphics, but they were not simple. It was just enough that they could kind of be, engaged with that, but not overwhelmed. And then there was that kinesthetic piece. I think for me, it was the moving my fingers to touch and to be able to go back and forth. It's a small kinesthetic piece to this activity. The next benefit is that it involved a choice. They got to choose the character. They got to choose the path. They got to choose sound or no sound. They got to go back if they needed to. The whole idea behind choice for kids in school is that they have a choice. They're more apt to be engaged. It focused on important concepts. Digital citizenship. I believe some of the topics are social media, digital footprints, the importance of making good decisions. And it also gave immediate feedback after choices. So you made a choice and it was bad, and then it gave you a little bit feedback. Mr. So-and-so often tells you to have to look into different sources. So like when he made a bad choice, it gave feedback. When he makes a good choice, it gave feedback really right after the choice was made. So that's immediate. Lets kids know that, oh, I'm on the right path. Oh, I'm not on the right path, but that's still okay. This software is risk-free for students. They are not penalized for making a poor choice, unlike having a test or a quiz. If they make a bad choice, they get a bad grade. Not for this. This is set up differently. It's for them to kind of think to themselves and learn in a self-paced, through self-discovery, without having consequences for making bad choices. It is a no-cost game with no-cost resources. Students and educators can play it without a fee. You can have the resources without a fee. And lastly, it has various modalities. You can use it on your computer. You can use it on a tablet. You can use it on an iPad or your mobile device. You can use it on an iPhone or an Android. So these are all the benefits. You have multi ways of getting into it. So to have some concluding remarks for this presentation. Our Generation Z students are fully connected to the digital world, but they continue to need guidance and education on being good digital citizens. Our school districts need to incorporate activities where students can learn decision making with limited risks in a penalty-free arena. And this software, Digital Compass, is no cost, it's engaging, it's multisensory, and it's a way for students to have the opportunity to work with difficult topics and to help them learn through self-discovery.